Always something exciting going on at the stable. Quite the trip with widespread panic today. We'll talk to him in a minute. I want to go through the morning. Woke up this morning just trying to get my head squared away, what's coming up this week, this weekend, what we're doing. So I made the decision that I was going to take Saturday off and take the girls and go back to Ontario. I wanted to see Ollie play ball. Well, we're gonna.
Why?
Because I want to see Ollie play ball, and I want to see the North American Cup. I want to see. Pickpocket. I want to see Pickpocket race in the good times. I want to see Tactical Mounds race. I just want to be present. I'd like to be there. So I looked at things. Spazzano or whatever is in with Memory and Imagination again. For a small, compact field, it is a little stiff, quite frankly. Not that the Courier Knife should be a walkover anyway, but it is a little bit stiff. So Ronnie Wren, who won with the horses last start, I just simply said, I guess we'll put Ronnie on the horse. He knows him. And Chris Lems knows Patrick the Piranha very, very well also. He's down in class, so I figured it would give me an opportunity to leave from Scioto. And Addie, don't do that again. An opportunity to leave from Scioto and go to Ontario or come back to the barn, train some horses, and go to Ontario shortly thereafter. But the staging point for all of that would be 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning on Saturday as opposed to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it didn't come by this decision easy. But when it comes to Memory and Imagination, Ronnie does know him. He does get along with him. He is one of the leading drivers. And Chris knows Patrick also. So it wasn't like I wanted to make sure I wasn't walking away from somewhere I should be. I have to be. And I don't believe I was. So Saturday I won't be present at the Meadows. I will be in Ontario. And also when it comes to Friday night, obviously I'm not going to be at the Meadows. I'm in Scioto. So the girls and I didn't really know what we were going to do. Originally, we were going to go to Scioto right now. We were going to go to the Meadows right now. I said to you yesterday, I'm going to go to Columbus early. Problem with that is, got to be out of the hotel at 1 o'clock. Can I help you?
How are we going to Ontario? It's going to use all the way that way over here.
We're going to use the automobile. We're going to use the Beal is the car. We're going to use the car. So,
are we going on tour next week?
Possibly, yeah. We're going to go on tour all summer. I'm just trying to do our best to everybody stay together. Amy and I were apart 4 or 5 days this week. It'll be 5 days, 6 days we'll be apart. And I don't like the feel of it, obviously. I like watching Ollie play baseball and having all of us together when we go and do something fun. It's much better when we can do it all together. So that is how I landed on that decision. So I think Friday I'm going to go to the barn, do some training. I was going to do potentially Saturday and then go to Columbus. If we decide to stay over in Columbus and leave from Columbus, fine. If we decide to drive towards the Michigan border and stay over somewhere there and go to Ontario in the morning, that's fine too. Whatever the girls and I decide is exactly what we're going to do in regards to Friday evening. Next week, as I said, we're planning on racing some horses in Ohio and Pennsylvania. I want to get a good stiff mile into Aunt Lily. I want to get a good mile into all of our horses that we're looking to prep for the next generation. And although Foxy Seaside was sitting in the weeds, she made a gigantic step forward yesterday with her training mile. Gorgeous Package is still maybe a nose in front at this point, but there's still plenty of time. So we want to see how that takes place. You saw Rose Run AJ qualify this morning. I opted not to go with Canoe. He had a little bit of a fever and a little bit of a sickness. So I'm going to work a little bit with him Friday, Saturday, potentially take him to the Meadows and qualify him on Tuesday and get a good line into him. Same goes for a couple of the other horses. And Rose Run AJ's mile today was very good. The track was bad today. It was deep. I did send a message out to the track just saying, hey, we love where we're at. We love what we're doing, but we would like to sit down and talk with the track crew about what their plans are for the summer with the surface and how we're going to address that. Since they resurfaced that track, there has been nights when it's been a little flat. You guys saw the battle going 52-4 that night for a race that went 47-4 the year before. Now we can joke about how the track was short or blah, 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 but it's just not the same surface. So, and that's no one's fault. Everybody, how we arrived, and this is the one thing I want everybody to remember, especially the people out there that are angry. about how Northfield is right now. How they arrived at the surface they have right now was born from a dramatic facelift that they put into this track. You know, one of the rare places I see that I've been in racing that has put money into their facility and tried to make it better. They didn't try and make it worse. So regardless if it's not up to...
Are we all going out?
Yeah, in just a second.
Geese.
Yeah, I see them. Okay,
Where?
they're right there. We've seen them. We're from Canada. We see them all the time.
I don't like
So, so how we arrived at the position we're in right now was more than fair. It didn't work out. The surface isn't knit together the way they wanted. Okay, what do we do next? And that's where we're at right now. So the track was not great today. The mile from Roser and AJ was fantastic. The mile from the Priest was not. But you know, we both said to Jason we'd rather not be on the front with him, especially after he behaved in the qualifier the first time, which I don't think was him. But his blood work didn't come back that bad. So what took place? What went on with him? I think another horse, we got to get the flip-flops off at some point. But kind of a wasted mile this morning, 2.7 in a piece. Not the end of the world. What are you going to do? When you go over the half in 105 and you're trying not to be on the front, guess what? You're at the mercy of the tempo set by the leaders. And was not what we wanted, but not the end of the world either. A nice flat mile from the Priest. It looks like he closed up very strong. It might have only showed 31 in a piece, but you can see with your own eyes, he did finish up strong. And all his last quarter was the last 8th and 16. I was happy with what I saw from him, but I would like to see a little more. And quite frankly, 2.8 on Thursday wouldn't shake me from putting him right back into qualify soon, although 4 or 5 days back at the Meadows is not ideal. So we'll see how that plays out this week. But we do want to get this guy tightened up and ready to go for a stake season in Indiana. So 2 great qualifiers this morning. One, not much you can do, but a nice flat line and a good looking line from the Priest, and then a very strong line from Roser and AJ. Happy with him. Now come over here this afternoon. If I had a little more sense of urgency, I could have blasted Stay Close out of there. The thing I didn't want to do was get to the front quick and have to let Hunter go. I wanted to kind of sit where I was, make Hunter take a seat and roll to the front. It never dawned on me that Jeremy Indoff would push through with his front legs and then continue on to the front. I thought he was doing exactly what I was doing, which was making Hunter take a seat and then settle out. I'm one of the favorites. He's like 7 or 8 or 9 to 1, but his horse just got beat. He raced good, and take nothing away from Stay Close. 53-2, 28-2. What more can you ask from that horse? That was a good mile from him today, and I was proud of him. I wish if I had a thought that would take place, I would have pushed a little harder going into the turn, crossed over to the front, and taken my chances with Hunter. But as it turned out, that's not the way it worked out. But that's racing. That's the way it is. I didn't want to use him any harder going to the turn because that would have, made me a little bit vulnerable in the latter stages of the race. I thought what I was doing was perfect. It just didn't factor in Jeremy's horse being that good, but he raced good. And then Widespread Panic, didn't go a mile with Widespread Panic. Before, I just wanted to try and start keeping him quiet and letting him get comfortable on the track. And when it came to today's race, maybe a little too comfortable. We were going in behind the gate, and I couldn't catch the gate. He was putting steps in. To me, it felt like he was trying to find a way out. At that point, just at the start of the race, it felt to me like he was trying to find a way to make a break and get out of his work. And I had to spot the gate a country mile. Like they said 10, it wasn't 10. If you easily count the lengths from first to where I was at the quarter, it was 12, 13 lengths. At the start, probably 15, I would say. That was a heck of a mile from that horse today. And the reason I said that at the start was that at any point he could have got out. He could have raced poorly. I could have moved him 3 deep. He could have fizzled out. But I moved him 3 wide, and I hit him a swat. And he's coming around the last turn, running in. I had to check him a couple of times. So he came out of the turn, and he lunged forward at the leaders. He's got a Murphy blind on the inside. He couldn't see that horse on the inside. He finished off his mile as strong as he could and got the job done. So I was angry, but what I was angry for him at the start was not completely accurate. Because you can't say he was trying not to do his work at the start and then change his mind and decided he was going to do his work at the finish. Something was bothering him today. It wasn't serious, but at the same token, I would like to find out what it is. So we do have some babies going to see Dr. Brown on Tuesday. I wonder if we can't squeeze him into that truckload also. Can't have him racing like that. I like the fact that his work ethic is top-notch today, but his attitude towards the race itself may have been called into question. So happy with the win, not the way you want to get it, Wasn't like he was crazy the whole mile. When I did catch up, he was very polite. So he is learning in that regard, but obviously dug a pretty big hole for us. And you know, at the start, it was just, I am not going to allow you to. I get fined $100 for being off the gate, and as I said to the starter, I'd rather get fined $100 than get an X. So I was fined $100 for missing the gate, and I didn't just miss it; I missed it huge. But I wasn't going to allow him to make a break. He wasn't breaking rule number 1. I might have broke a rule, but he wasn't breaking any today. I held him together until he found a better stride, and then away we went, and he ended up winning the race. So, as I said, not without our excitement today, but very happy with what I saw. The gait of the Priest was good. Need to see a lot more speed, but there's never been a problem with speed with him, so I'm not really worried. It's not like I'm worried, like, oh, maybe he's just no good. That's never crossed my mind with the Priest, ever, not one time. So I would like to see a faster mile, but I saw a good mile. Didn't love the time, but liked his mechanics, liked the way he did it, and I did like the way that Jason drove him. I just would like to see a little more speed. And Roser and AJ was awesome. That was all himself, right? 2 minutes, 28 apiece, or 29 seconds on the end of it. Last half, and 57 and 4. Horse was very, very good. Today, our horses continue to look good as we head into their first lifetime starts. We are going to start entering some horses for Northfield in the 2-year-old maiden. We're going to enter some horses at the Meadows in the 2-year-old maiden. I hope they continue to write them. And if we have to go to Scioto with some, if they're going to open the races, they're going to fill 2-year-old races, then we'll go there also. So our first 2-year-olds, I suspect, will race next week somewhere. And then the stakes, the Monday following that, is when all the stake races start in Kentucky and New Jersey shortly there before, I believe. So a great day today, top to bottom, from our barn. Very happy with the way the horses looked on the track. Very happy with the way they looked at the races. A little frustrated with widespread panic, but we'll get to the bottom of that this week. I'm sure Dr. Brown will figure something out, and we'll get him back on track, and shortly thereafter, hopefully get him down to Indiana. So with that, I'm going to let you go. We still got lots coming up today. Let's see if I can get this up real quick. What do we got going on today at the track? We still have Stay Close, Widespread Panic, 8:47 tonight. We have Collector, Drebin, and Halley in the Clouds. 3 that I'm not going to miss, and I hope you don't also. So with that, I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful start to your weekend. Not a bad start. Not a bad start to the weekend from us. Wait, no. Today's Thursday. Early start to the... Never mind. Take care.